In this lecture, I just want to disassemble the text section of both of the executables created in the previous lecture using the static and shared libraries to just prove what we said in the previous lecture. So in here I say obj dump -m intel -d and then the name of the executable, which is a string. And if you look at the main section, this is the main section, and the different, after that you see we get to the disassemble of the mgh compare. You see that these functions, the mgh compare, has been added to the executable. That's what we predicted, and other than that we have got all the other functions, even though we haven't used any one of them, that all of them have been added to the executable. And we said that this is the reason that the size of the executable gets so big. So we have mgh compare 2 in here. After that we have mgh compare 3. So you see this is the mgh compare 4, and then mgh compare 5, 6, 7, and other functions. So it doesn't matter if we use any functions or we don't use any of them, all of them in the static library would be added to our main executable, and the size would get big, but we won't need to have any library with our executable. The executable itself is enough to get executed in. After that we get to disassemble the executable created using the shared library by the same command. And again, if you look in the main section, it's so small, we don't have any one of the functions added, but we have the in the PLT section, which is for the dynamic linking, you see we have some other functions other than the print and put s. If we compare it with the static library, the first section we have PLT, it's for, we would talk about them later, but right now if you look, we have the put s, the printf, and other common functions which are defined in the libc library. We explained in the previous lecture that if we type ldd and then the name of the executable, it gives us the shared libraries that are required for our main executable to work properly. One of them is the libc shared library in here that you see, and the most common functions are defined in there. The PLT sections in here are for resolving the addresses of those functions, which we would talk about later. But if you compare them, this is the string using the static library, and this is the same thing using the shared library. If you look in the first one, because we have created the static library, none of the mgh compare, mgh print, or mgh length functions are not defined in here because they have been added statically. But if you look at the second case, because they are in the shared library, we have the mgh print, mgh compare, and mgh length. Pay attention that these are not the functions themselves, they are in the shared library, loaded on the RAM on a different place. These sections are only for resolving their addresses in the dynamic linking step.